Christmas Eve, 1945, Fayetteville, West Virginia. While most families were tucking their kids into bed, the Sodder family was about to lose everything. 10 children went to sleep that night. Only 5 made it out of the house alive. George and Jenny Sodder watched their home burn to the ground in less than an hour. But when the fire was finally out, the real nightmare began. There were no bodies, no bones, no teeth, nothing. For the next 45 years, the parents refused to believe their children were dead. Then, 22 years after the fire, a letter arrived with a photo of a man who looked exactly like their missing son. This isn't just a fire, it's a mystery that never ended. In my world, things don't just happen by accident. Not like this. The ladder. George always kept a ladder against the house. That night, when he ran to grab it to save his kids, it was gone. The trucks. He tried to drive his work trucks under the windows so he could climb up. Both trucks worked fine the day before, but that night, they wouldn't start. The phone. They tried to call for help, but the phone was dead. Someone hadn't just broken it. They had cut the wire with a tool. 4 things failed at the exact same time. The ladder, the trucks, the phone, and the fire department that took hours to show up. George didn't see a tragedy. He saw a trap. Let's look at the facts. Even in the hottest fires, parts of the human body don't just disappear. Bones and teeth almost always stay behind. But after this fire, investigators found nothing for 5 children. And it gets weirder. A neighbor saw someone throw a ball of fire onto the roof right before it started. The house lights stayed on during the whole fire. If the fire was caused by bad wires, the lights should have gone out. But they stayed on while the house burned. If they didn't die in that house, where did they go? People started seeing them almost immediately. A woman at a motel said she saw the kids the next morning with a man and 2 women. A waitress in another town said she served them food. Someone else saw them in a car near the state line. The police didn't listen, so George built a massive billboard right on the highway. It had the faces of all 5 children and a big reward. It stayed there for years, staring at every car that drove by. In 1967, the mailman brought a letter with no return address. Inside was a photo of a man in his 20s. He looked just like their son Louis would have looked at that age. On the back were 4 words: Louis Sodder, I love brother. The family hired a private detective to find out who sent it. He went to look for answers, and he disappeared too. He was never heard from again. George died in 1969. Jenny died in 1989. They spent their entire lives looking for children they never found. So, why would someone do this? It might have been a grudge. George was an immigrant from Italy. He often spoke out against the Italian dictator Mussolini. Before the fire, a man came to the house and threatened George. He told George his house would burn and his children would be taken because of what he said. Today, the case is still open. The only thing ever found in the ashes was a tiny piece of human-like tissue that turned out not to be from the kids. If those kids are still alive, they would be in their 80s now. Their family is still looking for the truth. George Sodder built a billboard so we wouldn't forget their faces. The least we can do is keep asking what happened. What do you think? Did they die in that fire, or were they stolen? Tell me your theory in the comments. And if you want to see more cases like this, subscribe. I'll see you at the next file.